Blog Talk Radio.
Talk Radio, brought to you by Inner Circle Publishing and Blog Talk Radio, and thank you for joining us in a community of insight. The opinions, thoughts, and ideas of reality you're about to hear in no way reflect those of Blog Talk Radio or its advertisers. We are live, and welcome callers at 646-716-8138, or join us in the chat room and participate with your comments. If you have a guest to suggest for Aware Talk Radio, please contact Chad at icpchad@fairpoint.net or Stephen@Hairfield.com. All of our Aware Talk Radio shows are archived at innercirclepublishing.com. Sign up now as an affiliate broadcaster and stream all of our shows from your website. Now, sit back and suspend all your disbelief and bring us your awareness, for this is Aware Talk Radio. Are you aware?
Sit back and suspend. You know, I like that, Chad.
I like that, too. And Sonny wrote that. That was great.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Aware Talk Radio after all the technical difficulties. Isn't that awesome? We get into the position in life to where we get so caught up in technology that when technology doesn't work right in that moment, we experience moments of impatience. Patience, my friend, is the lesson.
But you're talking to me. You're talking to me now, aren't you?
No, I'm talking to everybody out there. I know they've been lovingly and patiently waiting for us to arrive, and we have now, if there's such a thing, arrived to greet Aware Talk Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is Stephen, Dr. Stephen Hairfield. Welcome to the show. Finally. You know what, Chad? While all that was going on, I was looking around for Rod Serling, and I was so pleased because I didn't see him. And I thought,
at least it would make sense. You know, you see Rod, and things that no longer, didn't make sense, now they do when you see Rod Serling. You realize, oh, okay, this is the Twilight Zone, and...
I got news for you. If you see Rod and you think it makes sense, now you are on the border, and I'm not sure whether it's southern, northern, or middle, or between reality and unreality, whatever that may be. My co-host this evening, of course, as usual, is my brother and good friend, Mr. Chad Lilly.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And we did get to come live for this show on intuition, which I'm looking forward to because this is something that fascinates me. It always has, because I can't say that I completely understand the process, but I do feel like I see glimpses of it. And, speaking with you, you've had a lot of opportunity to not really figure out not only just how the mind works, but maybe how the spirit works, too, in union with bringing this information to us. And I don't know, maybe that's a great place to start. I was mentioning to you before the show about I can see things that I don't know, and I can understand things that seem to be greater than my own limited understanding. I'm even able to write these experiences that are beyond my own, and I don't know, I can kind of see intuition as being the only source of this information. So, I mean, from your perspective, Stephen, as a monk, what is intuition?
I love the Zen interpretation. Zen actually represents the notion of fast path to consciousness, or the proper use of intuition, and if you will, inner tuition. When we look at the idea of those two words, inner tuition, that means inner learning and or inner knowing. One of the things that most of us are confronted with is the challenges of the mind. If we remember the movie, What the Bleep, or documentary, whatever it is you want to call it, and boy, am I looking forward to the release of Metaphysical, which is going to put What the Bleep in warp drive. It's about opening to out-of-the-box thought, if you will. When I say out-of-the-box thought, what limits us from the idea of intuition? One, I mean, modern psychology would tell you if you hear voices, you're crazy. and that you need all kinds of drugs, and sort of the people from South America and south of the border, they're always attempting to sell us drugs. And the fact is we as human have been conditioned to live within a preconceived set of parameters that are considered to be termed as this is normal. This is normal realm of thought. And you know what's funny? As you know, Chad, I've traveled all over this country, speaking all over the place. And when I was going through Illinois, I was driving down the interstate, and I saw this sign that said Normal, Illinois.
Yeah, I've been there. Yep.
Well, you know what? I had the urge, and I followed it. The urge was the intuitive sense. What I did is I actually pulled off the interstate, took an off-ramp, and I went into Normal, Illinois. And ladies and gentlemen, love the community, so nothing intended, so don't attack me over it. I could only handle being normal for 5 minutes. I had to leave the community because being normal, I realized, was not my cup of tea. And you see, I think my point is this. We look for the idea of normal and experiencing normality as in the human condition and the condition with all people. You see, once we do that, according to the Zen traditions, we have shut ourselves off from any ability to access the higher vibration, the higher senses, the inner senses of being. One of the things, Chad, that I think you know that I kind of enjoy in life is collecting older Bibles.
Mm-hmm.
One of my oldest Bibles, and it's written in 1837, and it's 14 inches by probably 12 inches. Of course, the modern Bible is 6 by 9, so you got to ask yourself a question right away. Whoops, there's a difference here. But when I was looking at Revelation in the older Bible, I noticed a small difference, a difference between two ideas. And when I say a difference between two ideas, what I noticed was this. In the older Bible, it used these very precise and very exact words. Do not harm any of those that have the seal of God in their forehead. In their forehead is an interesting concept because when you look at the modernistic Bibles, it literally says on their forehead. So the idea of intuition is not an external thing. The idea of intuition, even according to biblical inferences, it is an internal thing, which means intuition is correct. Inner tuition, inner learning.
Right. And so again, if we're learning this from the inside, if this is something within us, how is it that someone like Cacye is able to access all the medical records and the Akashic records for every human on the planet? I mean, are we accessing things that are outside of ourselves, or is everything inside us?
Interesting question. Here's what I understand through academia and through using the intuitive idea. We as human actually have 4 memories, 3 of which we are completely aware of. The first of which, obviously, is conscious mind. Second one is subconscious. Third is cellular, which athletics has recently proven, and they train a lot of athletes through cellular memory. Repetitive physical operation, and the cells remember that operation and operates specifically by it. A classic example is Tiger Woods. He operates through cellular memory, allows his body to operate in that framework. The fourth memory that genetics has recently come to scratch their head over and is going, is they are now indicating through genetics that it appears the genetic system, DNA, operates as though it is a memory. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what? It is. When you look at biblical text once more, as I talk about in Metaphysical Interpretation of the Bible, when we look at the book of life, we're actually looking at our opening ourselves, if you will, to our genetic understanding or our DNA.